Welcome back to Unleashing the Rebel Within, written and narrated by myself, Lane Keller. Phase 2, Cracks in the Illusion. It's time to tear off the blinders, people. Time to see through the media deception, social engineering, fear-based programming, and the manipulation of your mind, emotions, and biology. I'm not here to gently suggest you notice the world is upside down. I am here to pry open the shutters, let the sunlight in, and toss you a pair of X-ray glasses. This phase may be difficult to hear if you don't wish to go down the rabbit hole, but awareness with loving detachment is key to your evolvement. Staying blind to the illusions and fabrications around us does not help you. This phase is about refusing to play along with the trance that's kept humanity sleepwalking. It's about poking holes in every inherited belief until you see daylight pouring through and offering solutions along the way. Chapter 9, Awakening in the Physical World. So far we've done the inner work, but now comes the part where I lovingly ruin any temptation to stay on the mountaintop, pretending enlightenment means ignoring what's happening down here. This chapter is where we move from personal healing into the uncomfortable truth that real awakening has to include the physical world, its deceptions, and the harm being done in plain sight. Phase 2, Cracks in the Illusion. We are supposed to become a race of leaders, not a race of sheep. We are supposed to be chiefs. That is what they teach their people. Nobody falls behind. We all evolve together. Alex Collier, Andromedan Contactee. A note before you begin this section. This next phase may feel different, heavier, sharper, confronting. That's because it is. Phase 2 dives into the core distortions of our modern world: media manipulation, manufactured fear, medical coercion, engineered conflict, and the systematic suppression of human sovereignty. While the section contains solutions, the tone here shifts for a reason. The illusions must break before clarity can rise. You may feel resistance, grief, anger, or disbelief. That's natural. You are not alone. You're always in charge of your pace. If the material feels off-putting or too intense at this time, skip ahead to Phase 3, where the focus turns toward healing, rebuilding, and grounded empowerment. These later phases are filled with explanations, resonance, and hope. You can return to this phase when and if you feel ready. There is no wrong way to walk this path, only your way, in your time. Chapter 9, Awakening in the Physical World. We've explored how to transform your internal landscape, how to change your thinking, raise your frequency, and become the most aligned, authentic version of yourself. That work is sacred. Inner transformation is not only the seed of all outward change, it's the fuel of personal sovereignty. The rebel's truth: inner healing alone is not enough. If you perfect your inner world, but close your eyes to the world around you, especially the harm being done to others, you are not ascending. You are spiritually bypassing. Spiritual bypassing may be the final frontier of sabotage. It wears a peaceful mask, but hides consequences. It masquerades as awakening while secretly reinforcing denial. Because ignoring the physical world we inhabit, its structures, its suffering, its active manipulation, and pretending everything is fine in the name of love and light, is not spiritual, it is avoidance. The physical world you inhabit is not a neutral place. It is not as it appears. Beneath the gloss of progress and comfort lies a veil thick with illusion, distraction, and calculated deception. Behind that veil operates a multi-layered, coordinated cabal of entities, ideology, and institutions that do not honor love or cherish creativity. They do not care about truth, children, innocence, or your right to evolve. This hidden force does not value your essence. It fears it, because when humans awaken to who they truly are, the entire false matrix collapses. That awakening doesn't happen in isolation. It doesn't happen in mountaintop monasteries detached from the world's pain. It happens here on Earth when we dare to bring consciousness into the chaos. You cannot rise while choosing to remain in darkness. Real ascension is not separate from awareness. It requires it. If you want to help birth a higher world, you must be willing to see the one we're in with clear eyes. That means pulling back the curtain. It means allowing the veil to drop, even if what you see shakes you. It means recognizing that silence in the face of evil is a form of complicity. Inaction isn't only doing nothing, it is also refusing to look. It's choosing the comfort of ignorance over the discomfort of truth. That's a decision with energetic consequences. As you begin to taste oneness, you'll feel the weight of injustice, not just out there, but in you. Because as consciousness expands, the illusion of separation collapses. You begin to realize that every act of harm against another is an act against yourself. Every child trafficked, every truth suppressed, every soul silenced reverberates in the collective field that includes you and those close to you. Ascension isn't about escaping the world. It's about embodying truth within it. It's about having the courage to look at what's been hidden, to pull back the veil and speak what others are afraid to say. We are in a full-blown spiritual war. It is playing out in schools, in hospitals, in trafficking rings, in media pipelines, in policy decisions, and in your child's classroom. Let's be blunt. There's no more mountaintop sitting allowed. The fate of humanity is what's at stake. You don't get to meditate your way out of this. You don't get to chant peace while others are being systematically destroyed. That's not ascension. It's sedation, and it's exactly what they want. Does this mean you have to become a full-time activist? Not at all. It does mean you must become aware. You must become vocal. You must be willing to disturb the peace if the peace is built on lies. Sometimes that means challenging school boards. Sometimes that means exposing child trafficking. Sometimes that means having one courageous conversation that shakes someone awake. You are not here to transcend the world while others suffer. You are here to help end the suffering because it is part of you. The wounded are not others. They are fragments of the collective self. As long as they are trapped in cages, literal or spiritual, you are not truly free. Unity consciousness doesn't mean retreat. It means responsibility. It means understanding in your bones that what happens to another is happening to you. Ascension is radical presence. It is rebellion rooted in love. Your personal evolution and the planet's evolution are not separate. They are mirrors. Until we stop pretending that one can flourish while the other is poisoned, true healing will elude us. Truth cannot thrive in a consciousness riddled with denial. This next phase requires vision, and vision requires courage. Are you ready to see what's there? The unfortunate truth. There is a dark intelligence that has worked quietly, and sometimes loudly, against humanity for millennia. This force has infected nearly every institution we once believed sacred. Governments, healthcare, education, religion, banking, food systems. Its power is not in bombs. Its power is in programming. Under its grip, we've become numb, docile, confused, distracted, disconnected from our bodies, our birthrights, and our brilliance. Left alone without interference, humans are capable of extraordinary genius and source connection. Instead, under the weight of this shadow force, we've become spiritual orphans inside a system that feeds off our disconnection. To name every player and tactic would require volumes. All the same, you should know this much. Disclosure is here. It has begun by the time these words reach your ears or eyes. Watch closely, because as the curtain is pulled back, you'll need discernment and not fear. Let the truths empower you. Let them remind you of what you already know, because you do know. You always have. Ignoring things never made them go away. A word of warning. Some of what you're about to hear may sound like conspiracy theory, a term that was invented to discredit truth seekers. I'm not asking you to believe blindly. I am asking you to research, investigate, and discern. This information comes not from fantasy, but from decades of intense, verifiable inquiry. The truth is not fragile. Still, your programming might be, and that's okay. Let it crack. Shadow World players. Let's start with this, the Khazarian Mafia. It's the world's oldest, most organized occult crime syndicate. It has cloaked itself in false identities, infiltrated systems at the highest levels, and weaponized ancient tools of control, including Babylonian money magic, to enslave humanity through debt and dependency. The Vatican is also not what it seems. I understand this will trigger devout Catholics. Still, truth is not about comfort. Look closely at the Jesuit oath. The corruption reaches far beyond what most can fathom and is Luciferian in nature. You won't find the names of the players in your history books. You won't hear about their deeds on the nightly news. These factions rely on secrecy. Their greatest trick has been convincing you they don't exist. They hide behind identities. The Khazarian Mafia, for instance, is not Jewish, although it cloaks itself in that identity. Like others in this dark alliance, it practices Baal worship, Luciferian magic, and sacrificial inversion. These are not metaphors, these are rituals, and they are very real. Multiple rings, one agenda. The web of control stretches globally, coordinated through puppets like George Soros, Henry Kissinger, Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, figures who appear humanitarian on the surface while orchestrating devastation beneath. Now, a new generation has risen to carry the torch. Their faces may be younger, but their allegiance is the same. Olivier Schwab, son of Klaus Schwab, quietly helps steer the World Economic Forum's technocratic future. Yuval Noah Harari, a WEF darling, openly questions free will and champions a post-human world. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, the architects behind Google, now preside over the largest surveillance empire in human history, cloaked in algorithmic benevolence. Their AI protege, Demi Hazabiz of DeepMind, builds machines that learn faster than children, with little oversight and limitless funding. This next wave doesn't need guns or gulags. They wield data, biotech narrative, and predictive code. They don't shout. They whisper in boardrooms, programs in basements, and smile from TED stages, convincing you it's all for your benefit. No, it's not. It's for control. If you're not awake to that, you're not truly free. The rings of influence spread through every major corridor of global control. WEF, WHO, the UN, FDA, CDC, CPS, IRS, NSA, TSA, and beyond. Nearly every three-letter agency is compromised, acting not as protectors of the people, but enforcers of a hidden agenda. The Federal Reserve isn't federal. Homeland Security, FEMA, and the CIA have staged countless false flags and psychological operations, all designed to destabilize, distract, and divide. These aren't random incidents, but coordinated chess moves. The end game is to dismantle free will and fracture the human spirit, to make obedience feel virtuous and rebellion feel dangerous. However, they can't do this in the light. Their power depends on shadows, on deception, on your complicity. They only win if you stay quiet. Eyes open, gloves off. Whether these truths are new to you or already burned into your bones, this is your reminder. Your clarity is essential. The fog is lifting. The matrix is glitching. The gloves are off. If you've made it this far, you're no stranger to the undercurrents. You may have already questioned the media, the money, the medicine, the so-called experts, the endless wars, the poisoned skies, the scripted narratives, and the digital leash tightening around your neck. You may have sensed that something was off, that things don't add up, that there's more to this life and to this world than what we've been spoon-fed. Good. That knowing is your edge. In the chapters ahead, we'll strip away the false storylines, confront cognitive dissonance, and bring to light what has been hidden in plain sight. You'll need your discernment and your inner rebel wide awake. These chapters reveal what you weren't supposed to see. Thank you for listening to this excerpt.